Hey everyone, it's Paul Sugimura here, and I'm joined today with
Jackie Man.
Eugene Ho.
and we're here to give you guys basically an update of August 2025 stats. So just as a little quick recap, there was 5,200 homes that were sold. Sales are up 2%. Listings are up almost 10%. Prices are down 5%, and now homes are taking a lot longer to sell. Now, this is just a snapshot. So I guess the question for you guys is, do we feel that these numbers actually match how it was this month? What do you guys think? For the past month, I should say, excuse me.
I think those numbers are so generalized. It's a big snapshot, and it's encompassing of not just Toronto, right? These are like just big factor numbers, and specific pockets obviously have do different polls.
For sure.
Condos, obviously, we do know it's much lower. Inventory levels are up. That's why those cookie cutter, typical units, they're not selling. There's just too much inventory to choose from. People have options. Buyers are cautious, right?
So what I feel is it really depends on the actual community itself, and because right now we're generalizing the whole GTA with this whole stats. I'm more specific because we actually farm a certain area. So, for example, like detached homes versus, semi-detached or townhouses. If we try to mix together with the whole condo and, freehold homes, everything together, I don't find that, I can't really use that as a target point or like a reference point for myself because I'm only specifically looking into a certain areas or pockets myself, right? And I've been hearing a lot of people talking about, a lot of listings are selling 80% below asking price. That's just, for me, it's just,
Yeah, it's just
it doesn't-
inflation.
yeah.
It's just people. It's just fluff, right?
Yeah.
Like that's really what it is. Especially when you see people saying like, "Oh, I sold over ask." Okay, but if you put it $200,000 lower than market value, then of course you're going to sell over ask,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. It's just an example. Like we had a listing in downtown Toronto, a condo listing. We sold it above asking, but they will be like, how come you actually sold it above asking? With the condo market being a bit slow, but because we priced it very competitively, let's say like $399, and then we went for an offer price. I'm pretty sure you're gonna get above asking.
Of course.
So it's just like a listing strategy, depending on how the listing agent or the seller actually wants to go through a specific way of selling their home. So for me, selling it above asking or below asking, it's not too relevant.
Yeah, it's more of the market value.
Yeah,
right, to your
exactly.
point.
Exactly.
So from a rental side, how do we feel about rentals? I know obviously my side, I've done quite a few rentals. For myself, I could speak like done a huge rental volume this year, more than actually buy sell, because a lot of clients, for myself at least, are condos. So they decided, hey, like they asked me, hey, like, do you think we should try to sell it now? I said, it's probably not the greatest time to sell, especially in the condo market, right? So how about you guys on your side? How have you guys felt from the rental perspective?
Obviously, the injections are not here no more, right? So we're really working with people that are still in Toronto. There's no new money coming in. But I've actually had a lot of lease tenants that were longtime clients, and they've switched the gun. They're like, hey, Eugene, this is the year. Let's go look for that home. That's awesome. Whether it be a small townhouse or a condo, they're jumping in the market right now. And they've been prepped, of course. We've had the chats through, a year or two. They know what the pitfalls are. They've done the math, and it makes sense to them now. I've picked up a lot of sales this year from
amazing.
That's awesome.
applicants. Yeah,
Amazing.
That's awesome.
That's why you always want to, keep your rapport, keep your
of
relationship.
course.
with your
Yeah, you got to
clients,
keep
right?
it up with all your clients. Just feed them a bit of market data once in a while, just so they're in the loop. They know what's going on, and if they're gonna buy, they're gonna buy. They're ready, but it's just they're cautious, like we said earlier. But now is the time, right? That this window they're capturing, I think it's pretty good. We don't have the market, for sure, like known truths or facts or how it's going to change, but it's pretty good right now to buy.
Yeah, I think it's Jackie, you and I kind of talked about it before, and Eugene, we've also talked about it. It's like you can never really time the market. It's just really what works best for you at the time.
Exactly.
If that decision made sense for you at the time,
Yeah.
stick to it, right?
Exactly.
Like, that's what it is,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. There's people that wants to ask me, is it a good time to sell? It all depends on, let's say, like your mortgage. When is it coming to a renewal? Like what kind of, is it currently being rented? If your current lease is getting over, is your tenant actually planning to leave? There's all these type of in scenarios that you have to consider. It's not just, if it's a good time to sell, if it's because you're getting a better price, or if the market is dipping. There's all these other type of scenarios or situations that we have to consider. So to cater to yourself, when's a good time to sell or buy, right? But going back to the rental market, I do see, for realtors, we actually have something called a broker bay. It's like a platform. all I see is, notifications, somebody's booking a showing, declining or whatever. But this month, in the month of August, I actually see a jump of rental showings, 100%. It's very normal because I do see, September, that's when the school year starts.
Exactly. Yep. People are moving,
Right.
switching schools,
Exactly.
districts.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
And
Yep.
with the rental rates coming down versus last year, there's a lot of current tenant wants to move because, they can probably get a better rental rates. However, I do see a jump, not just in terms of showing, but a jump in terms of fraudulent documents when people are trying to.
Yes, we were talking about this
Yes.
before. Yes.
Yeah. We see a lot of that stuff right now.
No, I had one the other recently where they spelt their name wrong. They used different font color, and then when I went to Google and LinkedIn searched them, it was just their name, and then the only connection to that person who was supposed to be their boss was them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of forgery going on.
So what we tell our agents all the time is, you get like an employment, employment letter and all that. But a lot of times when we try to do a reference check, never call the number from the
Never,
employment
for sure.
letter.
Yeah.
Try to go on Google, find out who the HR department is, or try to find who the owner is. Call directly and verify if that person actually works for that
Exists.
company. Or
Yeah,
exists.
yeah.
Yeah.
Long gone are the days of kind of can't really trust people as much anymore. It's a little bit, there's a lot more fraudulent activity. I will say, to your point, having done this now for 8 years, this year alone, I have been shocked at the shoot up a volume of fake paperwork. It's insane. It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, so question for you guys actually that I was thinking. Did you think that this month was going to be, because August historically is one of our busier months, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Did you feel that it was busier or slower comparatively to your past experiences?
For me, it was busier. For the buyer side, listing side was slower. But for buyers, this month was aggressive. A lot of showings, trying to compact it together. Weekends were always like full showings. Partly because there is a lot of contention for if it's a good property, if it's priced right, then it's going to sell fast. My buyers know that, and they don't want to be stuck in, finding a listing that's already out for a week and, someone's already prepping to, move on it, right? So yeah, I found that, because school starts, so that's when the time, things are moving. So that's what's happening. They have to be very active and on top of their game to get a good property.
For sure. Jack, how about yourself?
I think in terms of listing side, it really depends on your product. To be honest with you, like how many, if there's supply and demand, and also depends on your pricing, right? There are a handful of buyers out there because I do see even if I list a condo or like a freehold home, there are a lot of people that wants to show it. A lot of feedbacks that I get is, the buyers are holding back because they want to see how the Bank of Canada is going to announce on the 17th of this month of September to see if they're going to hold a rate, reduce it. So then there are a lot of the buyers are on the on the sideline waiting.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, I don't see there's going to be a significant jump, plus or minus type in the real estate market. All the negative news that we've been hearing, it's already out there.
Yeah, exactly.
People are kind of like digesting already. The high interest we all know about. There's no more 1% interest rate. So a lot of the buyers already accept the fact that this is going to be the price. It's not going to dip any further. But they don't want to just jump the gun, right? So if your listing actually do price it at a fair market value, and I do see if your listing itself it's a turnkey. That's very important, which I see. A lot of the buyers right now, they probably maxed out, their finance or the mortgages. So they don't have a lot of spare cash put aside to say I'm going to redo the kitchen or I'm going to renovate the bathroom. So then I do see a lot of the listings that I have specifically is if it's a turnkey, everything is done, painted, updated, not fully, but at least it's up to par.
End user, basically.
End user, then they do sell.
Right.
They do sell, and you get a lot of showings and tractions from that.
I think one thing too for everyone to kind of think about too is that the qualified buyers haven't gone anywhere either. It's just there's still people who are still coming to this country. People are still working. People are still trying to build up equity. But to your point, a lot of people are there's a lot more uncertainty now, right? We also have the trade wars and things like that. So there's a lot of external things that sort of affect our market. Definitely. Okay, so speaking about the bank rate coming. How do we think the Bank of Canada's next interest rate announcement, will it go up? Will it stay the same? Or will we see a drop?
Drop.
Yeah. I personally think, from what I've been reading, probably see probably 0.25 basis points, I think, somewhere like that. I know Vanguard recently came out and said that their target price and BMO as well is like 2.25%, but who knows?
Right.
It's hard to pinpoint. I'm not saying it's going to be like a huge significant drop, but I think it's dropped just because they have to do something to alleviate, lessen the carrying costs.
Bring some good news.
Bring
to
some
the
good
whole general
news,
market.
injections, of course, right? And of course, unemployment, right? That's a big number. That's, it has been climbing. So once all these numbers are thrown into the pot, they have to do something to, ease the pain a bit.
So we're all projecting it's gonna.
I'm saying down.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it's gonna hold.
So, so this now ties in with our little segment of this part. So what we're going to be doing is we're actually asking you guys now, okay? So if any of us are incorrect with our prediction, we will be donating to the charity of your choice. So please, guys, when you watch this, please comment what charity you think that we should donate to.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to dive a little bit deeper in terms of your community stats, for example, like, Unionville, in a certain pocket of Angus Glen, for example, or Willowdale East or West, if you want to get a little bit more neighborhood stats, feel free to DM us and we'll send you a report.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys soon.
Thank you.